All right, let's talk about compound interest. You hear it a lot, but do you really know the power of it all? Today, we're going to dive into what compound interest really is and how you can use it to increase your overall net worth. We'll use a calculator to really show you the details over time. So let's get right into it. I'm Alex, and I love talking about finance, investing, real estate, and all that jazz. Welcome to my channel. Quick disclaimer, this is not financial advice. It is for educational purposes only. If you require financial advice, please seek a professional's help. Now, before I explain what compound interest is, I'll explain what simple interest is. Simple interest is a flat rate that your banks will generally pay for you keeping your money deposited with them. This is calculated only on your initial principal deposited and doesn't take into account extra interest earned. This happens usually in an account such as a term deposit. So this is usually expressed as a percentage, say 5%. So each year the bank will pay you 5% with the money that you deposit with them. Meaning if you have $10,000 in the bank in the term deposit, 5% of the $10,000 over the year is $500. So at the end of the year, you'll have $10,500. So what's compound interest? Well, it gets slightly more complex here. Basically, you start with some money, it earns interest, but the next time you earn interest, it's earning interest on your original amount plus the interest that it's already earned. The way their banks calculate how they pay you is a little bit different to simple interest, and it's based on this formula up here. So I won't really get into it too much, but if you'd like to print screen, there you go. So depending on your product, compound interest can compound daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, etc. Compound interest is commonly used in savings account versus term deposits. So as savings accounts are generally compounded daily, for this example, we'll start off the same, $10,000 in your saving account at 5% interest. On day one, the interest will be calculated, which equals to 10,000 times 0.05 divided by 365 days, assuming each day is compounded. That equals to $1.37 of interest. So on day two, the interest is calculated on your initial principal, which is $10,000, plus the interest earned, which is $1.37. As every day passes by, the interest is calculated on a continuously growing amount of money. So as long as you keep the money in the account and don't withdraw it at the end of the year, with the same amount of $10,000 that you started with, compound interest will yield you a total of $10,512.67 versus the $10,500 that you would have earned if it were just with simple interest only. Now you may say, Alex, $12, what does that equate to? That's not that much. But over the years, as your capital grows, this will equate to a much larger sum. You can imagine if you had 100 grand or even $1 million in your account, this would grow kind of exponentially faster. So I'll show you that using a calculator now with the $10,000 example. All right, so this is the compound interest calculator on moneysmart.gov.au. It's a really good resource and website for kind of all your money needs, especially in Australia. So here we've got the $10,000 initial deposit that we had in. We're not putting any money in on a regular basis, but it's compounding monthly, so it's kind of similar to daily, but it's not exactly daily on this. Across 30 years with a 5% interest rate, you'll see the first year we get 10,000, there's the $512 that you get interest. And then as the years go on, you can see how the bars, so this light blue bar is the interest that you earn. And then obviously the dark blue is your initial $10,000 that you have invested. So over that time, our interest that we earn is $34,677, bringing your total to $44,677. So that's the power of your compound interest. Now, assuming you are finishing this at 60 years old and you started at 30, which is 30 years, say we start at 20 years old, 40. So this is what happens if we start at 20 versus starting at 30 and finishing at 60. You can see a massive change if you just start a little bit earlier. So $73,000 total for 10 extra years. So you can really see the difference with what 10 years can make in terms of compound interest. On the 30-year model, we earned about $34,000, and for 40 years, it gives you $63,000. So it's very close to double just for that extra 10 years. So you can see the longer it happens, the larger the effect. So you really don't need to be rich to make this work. You really just have to be consistent and disciplined to not withdraw any of that extra interest that you earned. And really, timing is key. The earlier you start, as you saw, the larger that compounding interest, because especially in those later years. So those early years, you don't notice it too much, but towards the end, during like retirement stage, that's when you're really going to notice those massive gains. So that's it for compound interest. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you subscribe, because I'm planning on releasing some more finance content related to, real estate, finance, investing, all those interesting things. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.